At the store here. One interesting statistic, by the way, 93,000 people died of drug overdoses in U.S. during the pandemic in 2020, a staggering loss of human life. Let me say that one more time. 93,000 people died of drug overdose, okay? So now the question I asked immediately was, how many was the highest the year prior to that, right? Overdose death soared to 93,000 in the midst of COVID-19 pandemic. U.S. government reported Wednesday the provisional estimate by CDC for eclipses the high of about 72,000 drug overdoses a year ago, reached the previous year and amounts to 29% increase. Lockdowns and other pandemic restrictions isolated those with drug addictions and made treatment harder to get, experts said. Overdose deaths are just one facet of what was overall the deadliest year in U.S. history, with about 378,000 deaths attributed to COVID-19, with the nation saw more than 3.3 million deaths. The estimate of 93,000 overdoses translates to an average of more than 250 deaths a day, roughly 11 each hour. So 21,000 more than average last year. What does that tell you about isolation?
Not good. Not good at all. And those are just the numbers that are reported that can be directly, attributed to it. What about the slow burn that you have, the cancers, or some of the other things that come from the drug? It's an epidemic. It's so horrible. And the most disgusting thing when you think about this is Big Pharma knows a lot about this thing. When you think about the opioids and when you think they know they make Prozac, right, an antidepressant, and they know there will be a certain percentage of people that will become homicidal and suicidal, and they do not give a damn.
Yeah, they call it acceptable risk.
Yeah, and, luckily the Purdue family's starting to pay. I mean, these are evil people. If you create these drugs that you know are going to get people addicted, and which you do, everybody knows somebody, everybody's seen it. You get a little back injury, you start on OxyContin and you can't get off it, and it gets worse and worse and worse. I mean, these drug companies are despicable.
I didn't think we were going to cover this one because now you're going to get one of my little rants here. But dude, this is my God Almighty. The first thing that we did is we shut down the schools. We shut down the churches. We kept the liquor stores open. We shut down the gyms. We kept the freaking. We shut down outdoors. Outdoors, people couldn't go in the beach. They couldn't walk in the sand. They couldn't dip themselves in the water. You couldn't go into a pool. You could do nothing for your mental health. Nothing. All you could do was sit there bored and anxious and get drunk. That's all. That's all I did for a year. Watching my money go away, less and less and less, watching my credit score drop, having all the anxiety of people in your life thinking like that they're buying into this media bullshit. Well, no matter what numbers I'm trying to show them, the amount of stress I had, the amount of stress everybody had. You're losing your job. You don't know what's going to happen. There's a damn coup going on in the government, and all they give you is nothing but booze. And they sit here and they say, wear your mask. Wear your mask. If it saves one life, wear a mask. Wear two masks. Wear one over your eyes, too. These freaking people. And then the first thing Biden does when he gets his office is he bombs people. We sat there for a year. If it saves just one life. And the first thing he does, he gives Raytheon $250 million to drop bombs on people in Syria. But if it saves just one life, you know how many people we killed with this shit, man? And we're still going through it, this kabuki theater. They're making people put masks back on now. It drives me out of my mind that we're even entertaining this. Anybody who looks at what happened over the last 18 months, I'm talking the Democrat politicians that did it, the Democrat voters that supported it, and the rest of us that allowed it to happen. If we all don't look at what happened and just feel an immense amount of shame, just shame that we allowed this to happen to ourselves, our freedoms, and our neighbors, anybody who doesn't feel that shame, they're either a moron or a sociopath, and any one of them can screw off. Your opinions from here on out are void. I don't want to hear you. I don't care. I don't care if you don't like me. You're a moron, and I don't want to hear your opinion. You've lost any benefit of the doubt.
I would say, on the people who allowed this to happen, what market research do they have to look at to see if any of this stuff was real or not? Like, what can they look at? The 80%, the majority, let's just say folks who just vote just to vote. They don't vote because they do a lot of research on politics. What the hell do they know about pandemics? What do they know about a virus? All they're sitting there saying, I don't want to lose my husband. I don't want to lose my wife. I don't want to lose my mom. I don't want to lose my dad. I don't put it on the people. I say, the power of affirmations, man. Years ago, I grew up in an environment, Gerard, that for me, it was, you can't do anything. We're not special people. Just try to do whatever you can to survive. There's no way, we're meant to do anything special with our lives. All this affirmations weren't strong. Middle Eastern culture is not a lift up type of an environment. But affirmations, one day, a guy tells me, try this. So what do? I go laminate my affirmations, and I put it all over the place. In my shower wall, in my mirror, in my car, in my wallet, in my backpack, in my computer. I put it everywhere. In my portfolio, it was everywhere. And I read it nonstop. Eventually, I took my affirmations and I recorded with a sound, and I just listened to it. It was 5 minutes. On my drive every morning, I would listen to it. Be careful what you joke about or be sarcastic about, because your spirit's will stop having faith in the words that come out of your mouth. I have met the enemy. It is I, Alexander the Great. I would read these 30 every day, 5, 10, 15 times a day, until I started believing it. Mm-hmm. When I believed it, my confidence, dude, it's over.
You actually did a video on this. This is one of your better videos.
But the point I'm trying to make to you is, this is not the folks who fell for it. The ultimate affirmation the last 18 months is the media, Gerard.
I agree and I disagree, and this is why. I agree with you up until a point, but when you had 800,000 people at some transgender rights protest in Brooklyn in the middle of the pandemic, 800,000 people shoulder to shoulder, and that was okay. That was okay. When you had the scientists, the quote-unquote trust the science, coming out and saying these massive protests are okay because racism is a pandemic too. It's one or the other. Either you can have a million people
didn't do anything
marching in the streets, or I can open my business. And the fact that we didn't do it, it's on us ultimately.
Yeah, we did. Many of us did a lot of stuff about it. You make it seem like nobody did anything about it.
Maybe you did it down in Florida. I'm telling you right now, New York, New Jersey, the businesses, they closed.
Well, guess what? They're going to pay a price for it, and good for them. They're going to pay a price for it. You don't think New York's paying a price for it right now?
Dude.
Everybody I'm talking to right now, New York, in Florida. Where are you from? New York. Where are you from? Jersey. Where are you from? DC. Where are you from? New York. Everybody.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody. You don't think California's going to pay a price for it? You don't think Portland, Oregon's going to pay a price for it? You don't think Illinois is going to pay?
So what you're saying is, instead of pushback, we just left?
No, you can't do anything with pushback. Listen,
it's very helpless feeling,
you cannot do anything when you're going up against folks in the government. You cannot do anything with it at that time. No matter how much your vote matters, when they say your vote matters. Okay, so go back to the whole thing with what's going on with Cuba and Mexico right now. Mm-hmm. Go back to it. So why is Biden's camp saying, no, we're not going to let anybody come here with boats? Oh, but Mexicans want to cross the border. Anybody want to cross the border? Why is one okay and the other one's not okay?
They think Mexicans vote Democrat and Cubans vote Republican.
Democrats Cubans are escaping an unbroken system and philosophy that didn't work. They're coming to America to see how great America is.
Jen Psaki won't even say the word communism. Won't even say it.
Yeah, but what I think is, elections have consequences. So if you enjoyed this little segment from the podcast, click over here to watch the entire podcast. And if you've not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Take care, everybody.